Thanks so much. If you like the radio show, you're going to love what we have available for you online on my website. And as an insider, go to drglidden.com and check out all the goodies that are available there, both for free and for a minimal subscription fee, which you can cancel at any time. God only knows why you would want to. Let's go to New Haven, Connecticut, and talk to Walter. Hey, Walter, I almost moved to New Haven, Connecticut years and years ago. Thanks for the call. You are live.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm 82 years old. I'm a Korean veteran. I go to the VA. And I recently, a year and a half ago, I had open heart surgery, and then I had actually 2 stents put in, and then AFib, which didn't work. And I was on medication, on prescription. And actually, about 3 months ago, I had the audacity to stop all that prescription, and I started with longevity. And I feel better and better and better. And I recently had blood work done at the VA, and they said that my thyroid was underactive. They prescribed levothyroxine, which is a synthetic. Yeah. And what I did, on the internet, I got the porcine. I'm taking porcine, thyroid, and and I'm taking actually 300, about 4 tablets of 130 each milligrams, and I feel better, but I'm still not quite there. And they said that my thyroid is still low. Now, like I said, since getting off the prescription drugs, I feel 1,000% better, but I'm concerned. I mean, what can I do as far as minerals and vitamins to improve my thyroid? The other thing is, I'm about 50 pounds overweight. I'm 5'8". I weigh 230 pounds, and I want to get down to 180. Okay. Because because of the heart. And and also, the blood tests that they work, that they do, I mean, how accurate is this to diagnose the thyroid condition?
Well, that's a great question, and that's where we'll start. Because, my colleague, Dr. Wallach, the founder of Longevity, he's a colonel in the Air Force. His military license never expires. He can be called back into active duty anytime. And Dr. Wallach's, one of my favorite sayings of Dr. Wallach's is that you can give your life 2 times for your country, once on the battlefield and once at the VA. So, you've survived the VA. Thank God for that. But when it comes to thyroid testing, the testing that's performed at the Veterans Administration hospitals across the United States is the thyroid stimulating hormone test, the TSH test. And the TSH test is 100% incapable of giving you a good understanding of what's happening with your thyroid. If you were to put a little stint into your one of the veins in your arm, and you drew a blood sample from your arm every hour for 24 hours, and you check the TSH level, it jumps around like a Mexican jumping bean. It's all over the place depending on the time of the day and too many variables to predict. The only time that the TSH test is effective and accurate and useful is if it's really, 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 really high or really, 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 really low. But, of course, medicine progresses one funeral at a time, and the VA people are going to continue to roll out this old-fashioned, ridiculous, ineffective, stupid, juvenile, useless test because that's what they were taught to do in medical school, and there ain't you can't fix stupid. So, honestly, I'm not sure you even have a thyroid problem, considering the testing that's done for that at the VA, because as far as I'm concerned, the testing that's done at the VA for thyroid conditions is incapable of giving you any idea whatsoever about how healthy your thyroid is. Now, when you're taking a thyroid hormone supplement, whether it's levothyroxine, Synthroid, or some natural alternative, like Armour Thyroid or Nature Throid or whatever, you need to take the stuff for 30 days in a row, before you judge its effectiveness, because it takes that long for your body to assimilate to the thyroid hormone, so that you can know whether it's a good thing for you or it's a bad thing for you, or whether you need to up the dose or down the dose or whatever. It's always 4 weeks. So you need to know this moving forward. If you're going to attempt in the future to modify the dose of the thyroid stuff that you're taking, every time you modify it, you have to stick with the modification for 4 weeks before you can judge it, because that's just the way that thyroid hormones work in the body. Now, given the fact that you feel a little bit better since you've taken it, and given the fact that you're in your 80s, and given the fact that you've had all these other chronic health conditions, then I'm going to say that wasn't a bad idea for you to get on board with that supplement. However, in order to optimize thyroid hormones in your body, you need selenium. You need selenium. Selenium is a mandatory mineral here in order for your thyroid hormone to function the way that God and nature intended it to. Your thyroid makes a number of different hormones. Two of the main players are thyroid hormone 3, called T3, and thyroid hormone 4, called T4. Now, as it would have it, T3 is stronger than T4. You'd think it would be the other way around, but T3, the smaller number, is the stronger of the two hormones, and T3 is your body's preferred thyroid hormone. Now, the porcine thyroid supplement that you're taking contains both T3 and T4, contains both of them. Synthroid contains only T4, interestingly enough. Now, in order for your body to convert T4 into T3 to make more of the stronger thyroid hormone from what it already has, it needs selenium. If it doesn't have selenium, it can't make that conversion. So, whether you're taking levothyroxine, Synthroid, or Armour Thyroid, or whatever it is that you're doing, in order to support optimal thyroid hormone metabolism, your body needs to have adequate levels of selenium. And at your body weight, the recommendation would be 4 bottles a month. 4 bottles a month of the ultimate selenium delivered by Youngevity. Now, you're going to get lucky here. You're going to get lucky here, Walter, because selenium is the captain of the fire department of your body. And whenever anybody has clogged arteries anywhere in their body, whether they're in the kidneys or they're in the adrenals or they're in the heart, in your case they were in the heart, whenever anybody has clogged arteries in the body, it is our belief that the arteries clog not because of the presence of cholesterol, but because of the presence of chronic, undetected, low levels of inflammation. It's like these little bushfires that are in the body all the time. And every once in a while, the bushfire is going to coalesce into a forest fire, and then the arteries are going to clog. So in order to keep that at bay, in order to keep that from happening, it would be prudent to have a strong fire department in the body. And in order to have a strong fire department, you need selenium. So you get a 2-for-1 here, because selenium will go a long way towards optimizing thyroid function, and selenium will go a long way towards knocking down any of the brush fires that are still happening in your body. Because I got to tell you something, man. Your arteries didn't clog because you got arteries, and simply putting stents in the arteries or sticking another artery into your heart is going to do nothing at all to change the metabolic process that caused the arteries to clog in the first place, right? I mean, that therapeutic is like painting over the mold in your basement, and even if you use Glidden paint, it's a bad idea because you're just painting over the situation. You're not getting to the root cause of it. So what we recommend to support and promote optimal cardiovascular function is selenium. Selenium, 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 and a lion's share of antioxidants. Antioxidants are found in many different foods, many different spices, many different beverages, right? Antioxidants. They're also found in nutritional supplements. Antioxidants are measured by their ORAC score. You need 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. And I tell people how to do that in my book. By the way, you can get my book for free now. My book, for free. And it'll explain all of this in the book. Go to freedoctorbook.com. Free, doctorbook.com, freedoctorbook.com, and you can download to your computer an entire copy of my book for free, and it will explain this antioxidant thing to you because you need to understand it. 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day need to go down the hatch, and I do not care how that happens. Food, coffee, tea, wine, nutritional supplements, I don't care. 100,000 a day should be your goal. Now, at your body weight, in order to lose weight, it will naturally happen as your body is more and more nutrified. Because when your body is nutrified with the longevity supplements, you stop craving calories, and when you stop craving calories, you stop eating calories. And when you stop eating calories, you start losing weight. So if you want to really have some fun with this, Walter, and push this envelope, you got to count your calories for 2 or 3 days, understand how many calories you actually are consuming, and then limit your daily intake to 1,200 calories a day. Limit your food intake to 1,200 calories a day or less. And one of the easiest ways to kick this ball off, if you haven't done it already, is by eliminating the 10 bad foods. So you need to eliminate the 10 bad foods that we line up on my website. It's in my book. Again, you can get all this information for free. You need to stop eating the 10 bad foods. You need to take 4 bottles of selenium a month. You need to do 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month, and 4 bottles, believe it or not, of plant-derived minerals a month. So to what you are already taking, please make sure you hit these numbers. 4 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month, 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily Capsules a month, 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month, eliminate the 10 bad foods, 100,000 ORAC of antioxidants a day, 1,200 calories a day, and as God is my witness, in 6 months, you will be a new man. Stick around, folks. How about that? By the way, I bet you didn't know that the average lifetime of a stent is about 5 years, and your cardiovascular surgeon never tells people that. Because, so here's what happens, right? I mean, imagine a sewer pipe in your house that's clogged with crap. Literally, it's clogged with crap, right? So instead of, flushing it all out and roto-rooting, the crap off of the sides of the pipe and just flushing everything out, here's what the MD does. The MD puts a little, Chinese finger trap thing into the pipe, gets it to a certain part of the pipe, and then pulls on it so that it expands and presses the crap against the walls of the pipe. That's what a stent is. A stent does not fix the problem that made the crap accumulate on the walls of the artery in the first place. And because it didn't fix the problem, it will fail ultimately, and stuff starts accumulating inside the stent, or it just gets all gummed up again because you painted over the mold. And I'm the quack. But the MD, the cardiovascular surgeon, is the hero, and it's nonsense. Fire your medical doctor yesterday. Hey, Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of my favorite cities in the U.S., is up to bat. Clinton's calling in with a question. Hey, Clinton, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. This is Clinton here from Minneapolis. Just want to say hello to you. But I had my team lead wanted to say hi to you too, Jeff Belvier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff, he said he'll see you down there at the conference.
He's going to Vegas? Very nice.
Yep, he's going to Vegas. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend, but I'm looking forward in the spring here. Me and him was here. He actually came over to my house, and we're talking about a lot of things going on with longevity and just to get this business part moving forward as well. And also just wanted to shout out to you, too, from the other people, Ted Anderson and Nasima Sheedy, and so forth. So you'll be seeing those good people down there as well. We had a conference with Dr. Wallach here last week, so that went very, very good. I had some people from our church attend, and they were very enlightened.
Yeah,
And,
Ted told me, by the way, Ted Anderson, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason that I'm on the radio. Ted Anderson is the owner of the Genesis Communication Network, and it was Ted's insight and wisdom which gave me a chance to have a radio program. I'd never even considered doing radio before I met Ted Anderson, and Ted just threw me into the pool and said, swim. It's turned out pretty good so far. So the reason that I even have a radio program is because of Ted. And I'm going to give you a little insight, Clinton, as thanks to Ted and Nasima. I'm going to come up to Minneapolis and do a lecture for them in 2015.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We're going to dial in those dates shortly, and we'll have that scheduled for you. I'm going to say, well, I don't want to make promises, but it'll be in 2015. Dr. Glidden will be rolling into town. You got over 300 people at Dr. Wallach's event, if rumor has it correctly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true. It was filled up to the rim. So that was.
And how was it? What was the response like from the crowd? Were there hecklers?
No. They were all tuned in, very attentive and focused, and just eager to get control of their health for themselves and for anybody else. And so, no, it was awesome. It was great.
You know, usually is these days, but I got to tell you something, Clinton. Back in the day when Dr. Wallach was first doing this, it wasn't so easy breezy lemon squeezy, and there were times when people would actually rush the stage and try to beat Dr. Wallach up. I mean, literally, wow. People would come up onto the stage and try to get into fistfights with Wallach. Motorcycle group showed up outside of one of Dr. Wallach's lectures, and 3-4 big motorcycle guys stood in front of the door with their arms crossed across their chest and wouldn't let people come into the lecture. Wallach got into a fist fight with the motorcycle gang members. Can you imagine that? I can imagine that.
Wow. Well,
I mean, I got to tell you something, man. The stuff that Dr. Wallach has done that nobody talks about, just so that today we can still be here. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, the stuff that people did in the Revolutionary War, to get the United States away from England, and everybody has forgotten all that stuff. But it was because of their heroism that we're able now today to do what we do. Well, it's the same thing with Doc. I got to tell you, no kidding. Dr. Wallach has some stories to tell, man. He is a phenomenon of nature. You stick with me, Clinton. I'll come back with you after this hard break. Stick around. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Minneapolis, Minnesota. A very, very strong advocate of longevity. Now, Clinton, I'm going to answer all your questions, but I want to take some time here with you. And I just want you to tell us, man, what do you do in order to get people interested in longevity? How does that conversation go, and what do you say, and what's your what kind of response do you get?
Well, I think with myself, I think because I'm a user of the products, and as you know, I'm a survivor of the stroke. I think that speaks volumes to see where, they seen me where I was in a room, couldn't speak, and where I am right now, and they seen that my numbers, I speak to them about my labs and different things, how I don't use any medicines or anything like that. The recovery is remarkable. So that speaks volumes. But a lot of times I point them back to you and Dr. Wallach as far as the information piece. I record a lot of times our conversations, pull them up on the archive, and I address their situations, their issues that they're going through, and with your advice, that's geared directly to them, they take and heed that advice, and they get the results. I have a person.
It's awesome.
I have a person that recovers, that his numbers from cancer is actually prostate cancer due to the advice that you gave him. The numbers are reversing.
Now, I know, look, man, right? I've been doing this for 25 years. It's awesome, right? That's awesome. But here's what I want to know, because I'm always curious about this, and I'm kind of outside of this loop now, and I always like to dip my foot back into these waters every once in a while, just to get a reality check. So, given the fact that you've had such a remarkable recovery yourself, right? Did your conventional medical doctors have anything to say to you about your recovery or ask you the details of it? I mean, how that you pulled that off, or what's that relationship been like since you've been getting better?
Well, needless to say that, I haven't told them that per se that they still think that I'm using their drugs. So when they see that all my numbers, the whatever, the 1AC1 or however you say that right there, and the blood pressure is lowered, or your liver looks great, and all these remarkable things, they still think that I'm taking stuff like metformin, lisinopril, and all these other things like that, and I haven't touched that junk.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, it's just crazy. It's quite remarkable, and it's quite crazy. Now, here, I want to enroll you in another aspect of this, Clinton, that you may find useful here. Okay, and everybody's lives are different, and everybody has different stressors, and this, that, and the other thing. But here's what I would encourage you to try to start to do in order to make your enrollment of longevity with people in your life even more effective. So, attempt in the enrollment conversation to get people into the radio show, to watch the radio show, to attend the event, rather than you calling in, asking me a question about them, recording it, and then playing it back for them, right? Now, look, here's the deal. And here's why I say this, and here's why I'm beating this drum, and I'm going to beat this drum till the end of the year now. People will find time. I mean, if they're working a job from 9 to 5, they get medical leave. If they have to go see the doctor for a GYN exam, or they get to go get a flu shot or whatever, right? Then the boss is going to give them time to leave work, and that's just all built into the system. So, if your if your prospect can find the time in their lives to take time off of their work to visit their MD, then they can also find time to take off from their work to come to one of my live chats in the evening. They don't even have to get off of work for that. Or to watch the radio program live. Now, if you can encourage people wholeheartedly, almost insist that they come to the radio program, watch it live, come to the live chats and watch them live. Sit in the seats, be in the room during the live presentation. It makes all the difference. Now, you, because of your story, will probably be able to enroll just about anybody, especially people that know you and people that have a relationship with you, because the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and oh my God, you're walking the walk and talking the talk. But remember, the effectiveness of this business model and the effectiveness of this, social engine for change, is to have thousands of people do what you do. And thousands of people don't have your story. But thousands of people can invite people into the chat room. Thousands of people can invite their prospects into the live chat at night. Thousands of people can invite their prospects into the radio program to view it live, and that's all free. So moving forward here, I would encourage you, in addition to what you're already doing, to develop a sense of urgency for the people that you're attempting to bring into the business by encouraging them wholeheartedly to sit in the seat during the live presentation. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, and I will. That is just another tool, so I definitely will do that. I'll start that immediately, so I definitely appreciate that advice right there, and I will definitely heed to it.
Because remember, man, you're awesome, but you can't clone yourself, and nobody has your story. So in order for your business to grow, people need to be doing something that works, and it's a simple system, right? One team, one dream, everybody's following the same plan. You know the drill. And really, if you can get into the habit yourself of inviting people to these events and making sure that they show up, then members of your team will do the same thing, man. And when members of your team do the same thing, it all comes together in one big, beautiful canvas, and then we really start making some moves here.
That's what I will do. Now, I think I have the one question.
I'm ready.
One of my members of my church, and it's for his daughter. She is dealing with ataxia.
Oh, ataxia? Have they figured out why?
No, I haven't really got that deep into it. He just sent me an email and said, could you ask Dr. Glidden this question right here?
All right. Well, ataxia is fancy schmancy doctor talk for they can't walk correctly. That's so like their feet don't go where they want them to go, or somebody will be walking down the hall and they veer off to the left or they veer off to the right, or someone will be walking and they kind of bend over forward and then they run and they run and they run and then they fall down. It's like ataxia is like cats. There's a lot of different types of cats. Well, there's a lot of different types of ataxia. And it's just fancy schmancy doctor talk for not being able to walk correctly. And there's 1,000 things that can cause it. The first, second, and third places to look whenever anybody has something like this is prescription medications and their side effects. So, number one, you want to look to see if the child is on any prescription meds, even if it's birth control, and look to see if ataxia is one of the known side effects. If it is, well, then you've solved the problem. They just need to get off of that med, and it'll go away. Notwithstanding that, the first thing to do here with somebody with this type of a diagnosis is to support and promote a healthy central nervous system, because we got to make sure the nerves are firing correctly, because often when ataxia is present, there's a neurological disequilibrium. It's a neurological problem rather than a bone or a joint problem or a liver problem, right? So we need central nervous system support as a generic broad brush here. And so how do we do that? Well, you know how to do that. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Increase your consumption of salt that has iodine in it, and I'm getting people away from table salt and having them lean more towards a Himalayan salt or Celtic salt or some natural salt that has iodine added to it. Salt your food so that it tastes good. Eliminate the 10 bad foods, and interestingly enough, right, eat a diet high in cholesterol. Because the nerves in our bodies are made from cholesterol. 75% of our brains, man, are made from cholesterol. It's made from cholesterol. Cholesterol is so important to the human body, our liver makes it. It makes it. The same way that it makes sugar if it needs to. It'll make sugar. Well, it'll make cholesterol. Cholesterol is extremely important to the human bodies, and if you don't have enough cholesterol because you're on a fat-free diet, or you're exercising a ton and you're eating skim milk and low-fat milk and you haven't touched a stick of butter in 10 years and, you know, you're fat-phobic because you want to look like a supermodel, whatever, you're going to have low levels of cholesterol, and that's going to drive all kinds of funky neurological problems. So a diet that's high in cholesterol, and you know the easiest way to do that, the easiest way to get good cholesterol into the body is eggs and butter. Soft-boiled, soft-scrambled, or poached eggs with butter and salt, a little cayenne pepper, yum, 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 yum. 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs a day. Dr. Wallach recommends 12 eggs a day. I don't know anybody that can do that, honestly. Of course, Dr. Wallach could say just shut up and eat your eggs, but, you know, you got to do what you can do, right? So a diet that's high in cholesterol, you can get cholesterol from other sources than eggs. You know, rare hamburger, rare steak, chicken with the skin, turkey with the skin, right? So just go cholesterol crazy as far as the dietary discipline is concerned. And for the supplementation, the recommendation is the One Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of HGH Youth Complex per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per month, or you could interchange that with the cherry mints if you want. The plant-derived minerals or the cherry mints, one of those per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And that's a good place to start for the child, plus everything else. And, you know, you want to look to see, right, as you're waiting for the gait to improve and for the ataxia to improve, look to see what happens to everything else, man, because everything's connected. Mood, energy, appetite, menstrual cycle, right? Everything, right? Because everything's connected. And if she pays attention to everything else, then she'll be able to have a heads up within 3 months. And this is the idea for everybody here. Everybody does the appropriate intervention for 3 months before they judge it up or down. And in that 3-month time period, if something in her body-mind has improved dramatically, not just a little bit, but it's improved like, wow, I can't believe that's better, then we're on the right track, and we just maintain the discipline until all of our health chickens come home to roost and life is good. So that's how I would handle that. And remember, we want to see results in short periods of time, somewhere in the body that's dramatic. Sound like a plan, Stan?
Yes, sir.
Clinton, you're awesome. Keep up the good work, man. You probably have a sense of this, but let me just reinforce this. Your community needs you more than you think that they do. So don't be shy. No more secret agents. Encourage everybody in your downline to have at least one conversation with one person once a day. And, an effective longevity conversation takes like 5 minutes max. I know a doctor that says you don't have to suffer with that. If I lend you this DVD, will you watch it? If I invite you to this radio show, will you show up? That's a yes or a no question. You ask that question 10 times a day. In a year, you will not recognize your life nor your checkbook. Stick around, folks. Finishing up the show with Cleveland in Virginia when we come back. Hey, we're back. Finishing up the show today. If you haven't checked it out already, it's a relatively new part of the Insider Experience. Please poke around the forum, which is available to you as an insider. Please poke around the Insider Forum, which is available to you now as an insider. It is a chat room. Well, it's not a chat room. It's a forum where you can go and post questions for different topics, look to see what other people's questions are, look to see what my answers to those questions are, search the database for questions and answers. It's an awesomely remarkable tool. Become familiar with how to navigate the forum. Pay attention to the rules of the road, please, and you will, by a factor of 10, increase your effectiveness in helping people recover their health. Let's talk to Cleveland in Virginia. Hey, Cleveland, what's up? Come on in, Cleveland.
Oh, yes. Good to hear you, man. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, Cleveland.
One of my business partners, he's in his mid-70s. He weighs 290 pounds. He's on the selenium and the Z-Radical. I don't think he's on the Healthy Start Pack, but he went to the VA hospital Saturday. He said he has trouble passing his urine. They went in through his belly button. I think they put a tube or something. He got swollen prostate. His lips are swollen. They say he got blood clot in his stomach, and they say he got a spot on his kidney. And they wanted to go in through his back. So my buddy, Mr. Ball, he believes in longevity as well as I do. So he asked me to call you, the smartest man in the world, and see what kind of help, man.
Well, I'll be the second smartest man in the world, but I appreciate the strokes. So, well, this is a sticky wicket because with this much trouble, we've got a lot of work to do, and we're going to need more than just what he's taking right now, and it's either going to be in his budget or it's not, so it's a real sticky wicket, right? So, number one, he's got to stop all of the 10 bad foods, man, or this isn't going to work. He's got to stop all 10 bad foods. Just stop it. And, I have a free video on my website which he can download, which explains why these 10 foods are bad. I'm not just going to tell people to stop doing stuff. I'm going to explain why they're bad and encourage them to try it for themselves. That's always a better approach. So he needs to clean up his diet yesterday, man. He needs to stop this crap immediately, number one. Number two, how much does he weigh, Cleveland? Do you have a guesstimate?
He said he weighs 290 pounds.
Woo-hoo-hoo! He's a big boy.
He's been a member for a couple of years, so I think he's on for the 10 bad foods.
Well, you got to know, right? I mean, I a lot of times people that once they've been in, they kind of relax the discipline. And if he's been in for a couple of years and he's not on a healthy start pack, then I'm kind of wondering where his head is at. So in reverse order, here's what I would give him based on financial concerns. Okay, he's got to start with 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. 4 bottles of selenium a month. 4 bottles of selenium a month. 3 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. That is a bare minimum for him. Now, after he's hit that target, he wants to do 3 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. 3 Healthy Body Start Pack 2.0 liquid. 3 of those a month. If he can't do 3 of those a month, he needs to do 2 of those a month. If he can't do 2 of those a month, he needs to do 1 of those a month. If he can't do 1 of those a month, he needs to do 1 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 per month, 1 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 per month. Okay? You know, he also needs the EFAs and he needs the calcium. I mean, he needs a lot of stuff, man. But really, you know, this is going to be a tricky situation for you, Cleveland. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Get him on as aggressive of a program as he can afford. Keep your fingers crossed and see what happens. You know, sometimes we just have to do what we can do and then give the rest to the universal being. I appreciate your trust and your persistence. Keep up the good work, everybody. Until we meet in person, I remain your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden, encouraging you to become an insider. What are you waiting for goodness sake? drglidden.com. Click on the button. Join the club. Live long and prosper. See you around campus.